Hi everyone, it's Jo Carter here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the TMI tag. TMI stands for too much information. This is going to be a series of questions that I'm going to answer. This video tag was first created by G with a double E from the channel G is Trying. I will leave a link to her channel below. I believe the original video is unlisted, even though I found a link so I could go back into it. But she must have unlisted it for a reason, so I'm going to respect that and just leave a link to her channel down below. Question number 1, whose clothes style from a book character do you like? So whose clothing style? I don't really pay attention to this, I realised when I was thinking about it, but if I was to pick any, I would say I would love to wear the dresses from the Luxe series by Anna Godperson. I'd say they're probably not very comfortable and accompanied with a corset, but they really look gorgeous on the cover, and I have a thing for ball gowns even if it was only for one day. Question 2, your book boyfriend slash crush. I would have to say, I forget his name, but I have the book here, which is that really bad that I forgot his name. But it would be The Romantic Interest in Beautiful Malice by Rebecca James. Does it say? Mick. Mick, that's his name. Mick, in a band, with a motorbike. So they're not the reasons why I love him. The reason why I love him is that in this book there is so these are teens, it's a psychological thriller. There is some kind of issue that happens in their relationship, and the way that Mick deals with it and the way that they're able to grow and move forward as a couple really just, I loved it. I loved it, and I would want my partner to react in the way that this guy reacted to the news in this book, to the issue that they faced. Question number 3, ever loved a character but ended up hating them? Yes. Neferet or Neferet, or however you say it, from the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast. I loved her in the first book and maybe the second, and hated her in the other ones. If you read the series, you will know why. Number 4, biggest or longest book on your shelf. That would be, I'm not going to pull it down because it's in a stack, but World Without End by Ken Follett. That book comes up to be around 1,100 pages, and it's like tall too. It's not a mass market. It is a tall hardback. Maybe the text is bigger and the margins are bigger, and that's why, but it's the biggest book. Number 5, heaviest book on your shelf. That would be the illustrated Harry Potter editions. Goblet of Fire is probably the heaviest because it's the biggest. It's so weighty. It used to be this big illustrated edition of the Chronicles of Narnia, but I don't have that anymore. 6, do you have any book posters? No, but I do have across the room some Pokemon posters from the Alolan region. Number 7, do you have any book themed jewelry? Yes. My sister-in-law got me some golden snitch earrings, necklace and a bracelet. I'm not wearing them today, for Christmas last year, and they're really cute. But my friend also got me this Hufflepuff. So it's like friendship, dedication, loyalty. She got me that for my birthday, but we were only able to exchange it recently, even though my birthday's in February because all the COVID stuff started, so we did like a step back exchange. 8, book OTP, one true pairing. I would have to say it is still Lucian and Ariana, I think is her name, from the Extravaganza series. They are featured in the first book, which is The City of Mars. I will hopefully be rereading this series next year when my TBR is 0, because it's really cool. It is a teen book series where each different book features a different character, and they have this object that they fall asleep with. So the first character has a notebook that if he falls asleep with that on his possession, he's then transported into an alternative Italy in the past. It's really cool, and I hope I'm rereading it, and I love the couple in that. 9, favourite book series. This is a really hard question, and I don't want to answer. 10, favourite book to movie soundtrack. I don't really know, but Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Whitney Jones was made into a Studio Gilby film, which has the best music, so that's what I'm going with. 11, a book story you miss / wish would continue. The only book that I've really felt that way about, which I can't find, here it is. I'm only grabbing the books that are in view because I don't want to stand up. But that is Looking for Alibrandi by Melinda Marchetta, or Melina Marchetta. I wasn't expecting to been loving this book, but once it ended, I really missed the main character, Josephine Alibrandi. I really missed her, so that was sad that it was over. I wish there had been a second, but also it was good how it ended, so not really. 12, favourite standalone. No. Maybe the Scorpio Races? I'm not sure. I've never really thought about favourite standalones. I hate answering favourite questions, but I really enjoyed the Scorpio Races. It snuck up on me how much I enjoyed it, but I didn't want it to end when it was over. I also, yeah, that probably works for the previous question too. 13. Since when did I start reading books? I've been reading my whole life. My mum used to read bedtime stories to me. We used to have to read in class, so that I forget what the program was called, but you would have to read for 15 minutes every night, and your parent would have to sign off on a slip that they read with you. And that was really good. Probably what made me a reader as my identity was that I caught on to Twilight, and from that I was like, holy shit, books are amazing. And that's when I really started just pilfering for amazing books like that again, and I spent a lot of my spare time reading, and that is when my reader identity came into it, I guess. But I've always been reading even as a kid. 14. Which Hogwarts house are you in? I am in Hufflepuff, and for those that care about Livermore, I am a Puckwudgie. 15. Quality you look for in a book. I've recently just discovered what my favourite genre is, which sounds really silly for someone who's been reading her entire life, but I didn't realise what my favourite genre was. I thought it was fantasy. Turns out it is actually historical fiction in a medieval setting that is featured around, I was going to do a video about this, of recommendations, so if this sounds interesting, I will be doing one in the future. But in medieval times, that is focused mainly on the characters, but if it has an overarching political, people in power theme that the main characters are trying to overcome, that is good. But it has to focus on what that means to the characters, not just the general power elements and who's running the country. It has to focus closely on the characters. That's what I love. And romance as well. Number 16, favourite book quote. Again, I don't really like doing the favourite ones. I don't record book quotes, so no. 17, favourite author. I don't know. Again, maybe, I would say one day maybe Ken Follett, but the thing is, before I label someone as an adult my favourite author, I want to read more than just the one series by them or the one book, and I haven't done that yet. I'm hoping Ken Follett, but then I read A Column of Fire in January this year, and that wasn't as amazing as I hoped, so probably not him. Team favourite book cover. I'm not answering your favourite. These are gorgeous behind me. But I don't know, there's so many book covers. 19, action or romance? Romance. 20, where do you go when a sad moment happens? Nowhere. I just stay where I am. Maybe I throw the book across the room, or maybe I cry. I've only cried once though. 21, how long do you need to finish a book? I feel like this question is how long is a piece of string? If it's good, I'll read it quickly. Generally, I read on average 3 books a month. 22, how long is your morning period? I don't have one. I read every single day, generally. Maybe sometimes not on the weekend, but I read in the morning when I'm having a coffee before work, which is Monday to Friday. So I'm always reading, even if it's only for about 15 minutes. 23, least favourite book. Probably the one that comes to mind is The Battle of Evernightfall by Cecilia Dart Thornton. Just that the writing style wasn't for me, and the fantasy elements weren't for me. It was too epic, high, flowery prose that it just wasn't for me. And this is before I DNF'd, and I forced myself to read that big book, and I did not like it. Same with Factotum by D.M. Cornish. Again, forced myself to read a book that I just clearly couldn't connect with the writing style, so that is kind of my fault. But that is why I DNF'd, because it was horrible. Number 24, turn on in a character. Probably what I'm noticing lately is actually a book boyfriend slash husband slash crush having good qualities, and just, I guess, being like stable and nice and all the things that people generally want in a husband slash spouse when they're a grown-up. So I think that is more what I'm noticing, that I don't need the relationship drama to I'm quite happy having the plot as drama and then having the relationship just build nicely and be like a safe place, I guess. Even though I do like romance, so I do like drama when they're getting together, and then obviously you can have drama while you're in a relationship, but I like it more to be issues that they overcome together as opposed to just meaningless drama. And for whatever reason, it seems like if the men are being fantastic partners, then I'm like, yes. 25, turned off in a character when they're violent and when there is ridiculous miscommunication, but I feel like that's more of the fault of the author than the character themselves. 26, reason I joined BookTube, because it's fun and I like talking about books and I want to make friends. Number 7, name a scary book. Misery by Stephen King is one of the only horror books I've read, and that was scary because I just moved into my new house and I was imagining Annie, the scary woman, around every corner. 28, the last book that made you cry. There is only one book that made me bawl like a baby, and that was World Without End by Ken Follett. 29, last book you gave 5 stars. It's been too long. I'm gonna put it in the text here because I really don't know. 30, any favourite book titles? The Scorpio Races, I've always thought is really cool. 31, last book you read. Prisoners in the Palace by Michaela McColl. 32, book you're currently reading. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. 33, last book adaptation that you watched. The 100, the TV show. No, The Vampire Diaries. 34, a book character that you've always wanted to talk to. I don't know. 35, an author you always wanted to talk to. I met Lynette Noni and that was fantastic. I don't really quite know what to say to authors if I meet them because I don't really have a lot of questions, I suppose. All my questions fade over time after I've read the book. 36, favourite book snack. Any kind of hot Milo or hot chocolate that's not really like it's a drink, but it's a snack if it's more filling and it has milk. 37, book world you wanted to live in, Hogwarts. But not at the time when Voldemort is at large and when Harry is at school. I just want like a normal peaceful time with maybe a few little adventures sprinkled in. But mainly I think the adventures would just be learning magic. 38, least world you want to live in, the Hunger Games. These are pretty all standard answers, but I'm sorry. Those books made a big impact. 30, weird insults used in books. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. 39, last time you smelled a book. I don't remember, but they are nice. 40, weird insults used in books. I don't really know. Some dialogue is funky, but that's not really an insult specifically. That's more a problem with the way that the author's written it. 41, favourite romance book. A problematic one comes to mind because when I read it, I didn't know that violence was super problematic. Like, I wasn't aware of the red flags in domestic violence. But I really died and was a sucker for anything by Jamie Maguire, which is Travis Maddox, which I will be rereading next year, and it'll be interesting to see what it's like now that I'm more socially aware of domestic violence. 42, do you write? I have written. I'm not currently writing at the moment, but I do enjoy it, and I do hope that one day I will publish a book. I have written 3 full books and started a 3rd and a 4th. That doesn't really count. I've started a lot of things, but I've written 2 full manuscripts in a series. 43, favourite magical item. A wand in Harry Potter because you can do anything with it. 44, your Quidditch position in the crowd. I think I would have liked to have played Quidditch, but it would have been too much of a contact and scary sport for me to actually have done. And I also feel like, as much as it would have been fun to go to Quidditch matches, don't you also wonder what happens in the castle when nobody's around? Like, all the teachers go generally and all the students. Like, imagine the mischief you could get up to. 45, name a song that connects you to a book. The Hogwarts theme song. I don't know. I listen to, again, Studio Gilby when I'm reading sometimes if I need to, but I don't really have any songs that make me think of books. 46, favourite book-related chat-up line. Maybe something that would be good, not really as a chat-up line to just test someone's character, is what would you think of having a date in a bookshop, and see what they say, like whether they're just like, oh man, that's so boring, or whether like they like books, or whether they don't like books but they respect your interests. Like, you know, a little test to see if they would diss readers or not. If I was thinking of like a dirty kind of joke or pickup line, it would be something about like the restricted section in a library, but I don't really know. I've never had to use them, and that sounds really up myself saying I've never had to use them. I've been with my fiance since we were 16, so, and I'm 25. Wow, that's a long time. Still spins me out sometimes. But, so I've never had to try and pursue someone, because I pursued him a long time ago, and I'm sure that was very embarrassing back in the day. But yeah, I can imagine the cringy sort of things if I was trying to pick up someone in person. Yeah, so number 47 is, have you ever used it? And I've just answered that question. No. Maybe I'll try them out when Daniel comes home. See what he says. Do you want to come to my restricted section in the library? 48, favourite book fandom. I don't really know. I'm not really a part of them. Maybe Harry Potter, but there are some ugly sides. I'm sort of someone that I just want more content. Like, I really enjoyed the Cursed Child play. I didn't find... I can sort of still appreciate something even if it was shitty content. So, the more the merrier. But I just, like, there's some Facebook groups that I'm on with Harry Potter, and I just love how, like, friendly everybody can be. And I know that that's, like, a really one-sided opinion because I tend to avoid the bitchy stuff anyways. But, I don't know, Harry Potter man, it's my favourite. 49, how many books do you own? I'll leave text here. I think it's in, like, the 100 mark. And 50, who do you tag? I don't know, I don't think I've got enough friends on BookTube yet to be able to tag anybody. I guess if I was shouting out, I might just turn this into like shouting out as opposed to just tagging them, but I guess it's like a tag. 2 people that are really embracing me in the BookTube channel is Moose from Aramoose and Sarah without a H from Sarah's Reading Nook. They are 2 people that are consistently continuing to comment on my videos and just really friendly, because it's really easy to watch a YouTube video, to like it, but not to comment. But it really means the world to small booktubers if you comment. So I just really appreciate that those 2 gals are commenting and making me feel welcome. And I hope I'm doing the same to them. That's everything, guys. Thanks very much for watching. And I hope that wasn't too much information. And I'll see you all again next time. I post videos, new videos every weekend, and hopefully one more in the week. Extra in the week, in the middle of the week. Bye.